Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back. This is HeroTalk. We're the mostly weekly podcast from Rooter Hero Plumbing and Air. I don't know why Kat was laughing at that, but it is what it is. So, I'm David. I'm one of the hosts here. And with me is...
Kat.
And together we're on the attack. So, yeah. How you doing, Kat?
Good, David. How are you?
Just ducky.
Just ducky. Have you been up to date with your 15-minute increments?
Always. So...
Starting the month strong?
We have to. Because why wouldn't you? It's crazy.
You're right.
That's crazy. So, yeah, no. I'm doing it in a little notebook that I have somewhere. I don't know where.
It's right here.
Oh, yeah. There, and then I have the, because it was free, I don't know if the offer's still going on, I have the 10X planner by Grant Cardone.
That's cool.
Because it was free. Normally this is like $30 and I'm like, no.
Does it have is it just lines, or is it actually like a planner,
No, if you open it up.
Organized. Oh, okay.
Yep. So.
That's cool.
It's pretty good. Still getting into the habit of using it, because
you're used to your 15 minutes.
I'm used to my own thing, but let's give it a whirl, as they say. So, Kat.
David.
What's been up with you? What have you been up to? Have you done anything fun in the 6 days since we last recorded?
Actually, no. This week was pretty slow. I think because it was raining. So, well, at least where I was. I don't know if it rained by your house. But it was raining by my house.
Yeah, it did.
A lot.
It did. Not a lot, but it rained a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So, but nothing to write home about. Not like what happened in San Diego or
San Diego was crazy.
Yeah.
There was massive floods, in case you guys don't know.
Yeah, and let's be real, I didn't see it on the news. I saw it on TikTok, because I don't watch the news. But I will occasionally go on TikTok and doom scroll if I'm, waiting for food to cook or something like that. So, yep.
Yeah. My dog is pretty sad because remember I told you guys last week that I was consistently walking him, and the rain came, and my dog does not do rain.
Well,
so
yeah, that would do it. That would do it.
Yeah.
So, but again, is what it is. Can't change it.
Yeah.
You could,
but I am working on one of my goals. The reading is there.
Okay, good.
I try my best, but I don't know, something about this book, I'm just not interested in it. So maybe I might switch up before finishing it. I don't know.
How many pages are you in? Or is it audio?
No, it's a physical.
Okay.
I think probably 80.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I wasn't consistent with it. In case that wasn't obvious.
I gotcha.
But it's because I think I don't like it. But
that could definitely be the point. There are millions of books out there. Most of them are not good.
Yeah.
So, and one rule of thumb that you could use is take 100 and subtract your age. And if the book hasn't grabbed you by that page number, give it up. Life's too short.
So I should give it up. Should be 75.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll give it one more chapter.
Give it one more chapter. Something might happen.
Then. But aside from reading, I've been looking into my travel goal. So
Good.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
And yeah.
No, that's amazing. So
you have some news, David.
Do I?
Yeah.
What?
You don't want to share? That thing?
Yeah, for some reason.
Not for some reason, for a great reason.
Oh, I was recently nominated and won the prize being
And like it's right here.
the one of the top 25 thought leaders for 2024 by ICMI. So, which is pretty exciting. Thank you. It was a shock because I didn't find out until I started getting tagged into posts on LinkedIn. So I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Heads up. Would have been nice, but it's a win. So, yep.
I'm going to read what it says right here. It says, each year we ask the contact center and customer experience community to nominate their choices for ICMI's top 25 thought leaders list. From more than 150 nominations, we're pleased to present the 2024 list.
Yep. And I was on there. So
David was on there.
But there are a lot of other people on there that are just amazing voices in the space. So
shout out to them as well.
Yep. So it's all good. It's a very, very impressive list, and it is humbling and incredibly exciting to be on that list with them. So, and I know my voice doesn't sound like it, right? But it was a huge, huge honor, and I was maybe I'm still a little bit in shock about it. I don't know, but it is what it is. So, but yeah, no, it was cool. Just wasn't expecting it.
But that's awesome. That's a great accomplishment. So congratulations again.
Thank you.
So, with that being said, today's topic is about leadership.
Okay.
Because who better to talk about leadership with than David Powers himself? So
probably a lot of people, but no, but we can talk about what I know, what I've tried, what's worked, what hasn't, right? So stuff like that. And to preface this, you don't need a title to be a leader. You just need to lead. So
true.
And whenever you walk out into a company floor, whether it be an office, production floor, whatever, you can pretty much easily spot the true leaders of that organization just by in how people interact with people, right? So now a title's nice, awards are nice, everything else, but you don't have to have a leadership title to be a leader. And I just want to get that out of the way right now. And most people that I've met with the title have not been leaders. They've been managers, which is a completely different thing. And yes, if you're going to lead a department, a company, or whatever, you do need to have managerial skills, but you also have to have leadership skills. And some people go too far in either direction, and things tend to not work as well. Although, that being said, I would say that leadership skills are much more important than management skills.
Yeah.
So it's not a perfect ratio. You should be like 60-40, 70-30 leadership to management when it comes to skill level. Okay? So there are some people out there that their entire thing is managing off of a spreadsheet, right? Everyone is a specific number. You are your stats, and they will make decisions accordingly without getting to know the ins and outs and the reasons behind stuff. I've worked in plenty of those places. I've had to do that before. It's awful.
It doesn't work.
No, it's not leadership, and turnover rates of those places are usually very high.
Yeah.
And not because firing, but because people get burnt out.
Makes sense. Do you have like a specific thing that you think makes a great leader?
I don't like talking about myself, but here's stuff that makes good leaders, okay? The first trait that a good leader has to have is strong emotional intelligence, right? They need to know how to read a room.
Yes.
They need to know how to talk to people without rubbing them the wrong way, which is a balancing act, especially when giving feedback. right? And they have to realize, and this comes too late for a lot of leaders, they have to realize that they work for the people they lead, right? It's not the other way around. The leader is there to provide support, provide aid, and to help the people that are on the company hierarchy or the org chart beneath them. So that is their role. They are there to enable the people to do their best work possible. And sometimes that comes with corrective guidance. Sometimes that comes with corrective actions, right? Most of the time, that comes with training and getting to know your people and what they're capable of, what they can aspire to be. And it's not enough to train them up to their current job roles, but you have to train them up to their future job roles. So that's the most important thing, right? No real leader lacks that.
Yeah.
And so that goes into like things like servant leadership and things like that, which is vitally important. You should be a servant leader if you're leading a company, department, team, whatever. So even if you have a team of 2 people, same applies. So it is what it is. So, but I know that you did a little bit of research before this.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about that.
So there are 10 key skills, key aspects that make a great leader. The first is communication skills.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's very important because if you can't talk to, like, as an employee, if you can't talk to your boss, that already is like, it makes it way much harder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or way much harder? That much harder to do your job.
Yeah.
So communication skills is really important. So we have the leader here, we have an employee here. So
yeah.
you guys get the best of both worlds. Like you said, the empathy and leadership is number 2 on the list here. It's not in any order, it's just a list. Yeah. 3 is decision making. A good leader needs decision making skills.
Yeah.
4, adaptability.
Adaptability.
I can't say that word.
Yeah.
Lead the team through change and uncertainty. 5, build a positive culture.
Yep.
That is something that we live by here at Root of Hero. We like to have positive culture always. And like there's so many ways that you can do that. You can have like team meetings, team potlucks. David has a book club. Like there's different things that you can do, and it starts with what David said earlier. Like you have to know the people that you work with and know what works for them and do things that will work for everyone.
Yep.
In the long run.
Yeah. One of the things that people need to realize is like when it comes to like employee engagement and building culture and everything, what one employee might find incredibly engaging, incredibly fun, and everything else, another employee sitting in the cubicle next to them or the desk next to them might find just overbearingly cringe, right? So you have to have a balancing act. There needs to be a balance between those 2 people, right?
Yeah.
So you go too far towards what the one that thinks it's awesome, right? You lose the person that thought it was cringe, who's like, oh, why am I here?
I don't want to do that.
And if you go too far the other direction, the other person is not going to have any fun, and the soul is going to be sucked out. So you have to find a happy medium between those 2, and that's not an easy thing. It takes a lot of trial and error, and it gets, again, getting to know your people.
Definitely. Next is continuous learning, the role of self-improvement in leadership.
Yeah. A leader's education is never finished. You should be, if you aspire to be a leader, or if you're leading something now, you should be hitting every day ways to improve your leadership game, right? And I don't say that lightly. There's lots of resources out there that you can use.
Lots.
Maybe too many. Right?
Seriously.
So pick one or two sources, right? And lean on them. Because if there's too many cooks in the kitchen, you're going to get confused because everybody has their own style, right?
True.
So if you want to go straight for the Navy SEALs way, right? Stick with Jocko. If you want another person's perspective, go with Simon Sinek, right? It's completely up to you, and you can mix and match different things, right? But keep the pool small enough that you can actually take things and you don't just get overwhelmed with a bunch of different tactics. Yeah. But always learn something every day and get feedback from your team about how you're doing with that. What's next?
Sorry, you said Navy SEAL, and I mentioned it before, but a book I read last year was Make Your Bed by Admiral William H. McRaven, and it's like a super short read. Like, you could finish it in one sitting, and I procrastinate, and I'm saying that. Like, it's a super short read. It's 144 pages, and it's like about...
Oh yeah, it's like this big of a book, right? Like,
yeah, I had the audio book version.
Very.
Have you read it?
No, but I saw it at Barnes & Noble.
It's a really good book, and he's a Navy SEAL, so that's why I got reminded.
Yep.
But definitely recommend that book. It's leadership, life, all those things in between. It's a good book. Right. After continuous learning is leading by example. Model the behavior you want to see in your team. And I feel like a lot of people forget that step. No, I'm not saying you, but a lot of leaders.
Oh, everyone does. It's called being human, right?
Yeah.
But you have to act the way that you want your people to act. If you don't want your people to walk around swearing and slamming desks and, getting frustrated and stuff, you can't be acting like that either, right?
Exactly.
If you don't want your employees talking smack about the customers,
you can't do that.
You can't do that either. All right? And I know there's some annoying customers out there, right? Yeah. But keep that inside. Save that for your diary, right?
Your journal.
Don't express it out loud, right? And if you do that, and if you correct it when you see it happening, that will stop, and then maybe they'll save it for their personal journal or diary or whatever, right? Yeah. So, because nothing will poison a company faster than talking smack about the customer. The customer is the reason you're there.
Yeah.
What's up?
It's true. It's very true. It goes back to that old saying when you were little, you probably heard it, treat others how you want to be treated.
Yeah. It's the golden rule.
It's as simple as that.
It's the golden rule. And people don't really listen to what someone has to say, at least more than they see how they act, right? So stop being negative. Stop disparaging customers. Stop disparaging other people in the organization, right? The worst possible thing a leader can do is talk smack about another leader, right? Yeah. So it's like, oh yeah, no, that guy, he doesn't know what he's doing, right? And yeah, maybe that guy doesn't, right?
But you shouldn't say that.
No, not to the people under you though, because one, they're gonna lose respect for that other leader, right? And they'll lose respect for you because, like, oh, if he talks about him behind his back,
I wonder what he says about me.
Exactly. And chances are
they are saying
so. But yeah, it's ridiculous.
Next is resilience. Bounce back from setbacks and maintain focus.
Oh yeah. So this comes in different degrees depending on who you are, right? Because everyone has a different size battery, right? So setbacks happen. Mistakes happen. Some of the mistakes are done by the people that are under you, right? And that's to be expected. They're human. And until everybody is replaced by AI, right?
Let's hope not.
No, there's a funny story I'll tell after this stuff. I posted about it on LinkedIn, but it's funny. It's about a chatbot that replaced people's jobs. So, yeah, that ended. I'll tell it now. It's a chatbot for some company, I think, over in the UK, right? And it's based off of ChatGPT or something very similar, LLM, a large language model, and apparently it's not very helpful, like at all. But that's not the thing, because most chatbots aren't, right? That's fine. But someone was able to just chatting with it, got it to make a poem about how bad the company was, got it to swear, and this, that, and the other. It's a very, very funny article that I found about it. It's hilarious, honestly.
That's crazy.
But, like, that's our competition? Huh. Interesting. And I know we're early in the LLM game, but that's fun. That's fun.
That's interesting.
And then I'm seeing the debates whether or not it's the chatbot's fault or if it's the company's fault, and I'm like, dude, it's both.
Yeah.
It's like, don't take ownership of it. It's the chatbot that you, even if you didn't develop it, you're using it on your website right now.
Yeah.
That's on you. Maybe you should have tested it before you laid off whoever was responding to the chats before. I don't know.
Or like restricted certain words.
There's always ways around restrictions. One of my favorite pastimes was breaking chatbots. I broke Chase's once. That was fun.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Got
That's
into an
funny.
endless loop.
What's
next?
next? Let's see. Resilience. Okay, so next is team development. That kind of ties to the building a positive culture.
Mm-hmm.
But team development, recognize and nurture talent within your team.
Yeah.
And that ties to everything that we talked about.
Yeah.
Knowing your people.
Yep.
Building the culture.
Yep. Train. Top grade. And here's a little saying from Jocko Willink, right? There are no bad teams, only bad leaders. And people fall to the level of their training. So, yep. So, one of the things that a leader definitely has to do that we haven't touched on is they have to take ownership of everything that happens beneath them. Everything. Right? And then some. So, anything bad that happens, that's on the leader, right? Because they didn't train enough. They didn't stress the importance of something. They didn't explain something that good enough, right? Conversely, anything good that happens, anything great, any like huge like wins, that's on the team. So that the leader, yeah, they facilitated, right? And they trained, but the win is gotten by the team.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people who call themselves leaders who tend to forget about that part, at least on LinkedIn. Where it's like, I did this, this happened to me, because of me, blah, 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 blah. Like, bro, you didn't do that work. You facilitated that work. Get it right. And I know it doesn't get as many clicks, right?
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Just grinds my gears.
Or at least acknowledge your team. If you wanna, if you wanna say like, I did this,
Mm-hmm.
and that, like, at least acknowledge the team.
Yeah. Look what myself and my team accomplished.
Accomplished.
Stuff like that. If you want to throw yourself in there, I don't like doing that.
But for those that do and need that win to feel something.
I am really bad with taking compliments and things like that. So it is what it is. It's the Irish blood that I have.
And lastly is ethical leadership skills. Know the importance of integrity and ethics.
Yep. So this one, because let's be real, all right? As I lean conspiratorially into the mic. Every leader, every manager, every human has their favorites, right? Just like most parents have their favorite kid. But
is that true?
Yes. So, no. It's not at all. I'm kidding about that one. Sorry, boys. It is what it is. You should do better and try harder to win your parents' affection. I'm kidding.
I'm like, oh my
God. That part
God.
was a joke. But even though all parents will say, I love all my children equally. Right? And that's true. They do love their kids equally. They might not like their kids equally, but they love them equally. Right? Same is true, more or less, with a leadership position, right? The thing is, you cannot act like they're your favorites.
Oh.
Right? You have to treat everybody equally. If this one person made a mistake, and you're like, oh, well, that's too bad.
Bye. Imagine?
Yeah. And then another person made the same mistake, and you're like, it's okay, buddy. You'll do better next time. But you, fired the other person for the same exact mistake? What are you doing? Now, I know that needs some nuance, right? And I'm saying if it's, their first time making that mistake.
Yeah.
Not their fifth, right? So, or if someone's incredibly inaccurate with all of the information they're putting in, or they send the wrong attachments to people, which happens. It's embarrassing, but it happens. But if it happens a lot,
what are you doing?
What are you doing, bro? It's crazy. But don't come down on someone for doing it when you're ignoring the same thing happening from someone that you clicked with.
Yeah.
Right? Because people click with each other, right? Personalities mesh, and some personalities clash. As a leader, you can't let that get in the way of getting the job done. True. And getting a job done well. So, and sometimes the person you clicked with most is the person holding your team back. Right? So you have to be fair. You have to be fair with all of your decisions, all of your dictates, everything. And again, I don't think we've covered this, so I don't know why I'm saying again.
Because it's important.
Yep. Criticize in private. This is like leadership 101, right? Criticize, critique, coach in private, praise in public.
Ooh, so, I like that.
Yeah.
And we do that.
Yeah, of course. Anybody worth their salt does that. The only time that, criticism in public is okay, if it's, as a general statement.
And nameless. Don't say who it was.
And make it so that, it wasn't just one person that made the mistake. If it's a repetitive mistake that most people or a lot of people are making, chances are it's a failure of the training. Right?
It's a misunderstanding.
It's a misunderstanding. The training wasn't good enough. The leader did not stress the importance of it enough or explain it well enough. Right? So, putting a blanket statement out there correcting the action on, let's
reminder,
say, Slack.
Yeah.
While being, impartial about it, right? Not using any specific examples, right? Because that can be traced back, right? And that's uncomfortable, right? And then stuff like that. So, you have to be tactful, right? You can't be swearing up a storm, right? I want to go back to the resilience stuff, too, right? Because I started off saying, people have different size batteries. And that's true.
Yeah.
Some people can work for 2 years without taking a day off. Some people can work 2 months before they have to take a day off, right? Some people, it's even less than that, right?
Yeah.
It is what it is. Everybody's different. Everybody is like, they have different sized batteries. And if they need time to recharge the battery, no big deal. No big deal. Usually that's what the weekends are for, or like, after work. But
and that's what also makes a good leader, to understand your people's batteries.
Yeah, and you have to understand your own batteries too, right? If
True.
you don't have the self-awareness to realize that you're burning out, you're going to be of no help to the people that work under you at all. In fact, you're going to be a detriment, and you're going to be a hurdle to get by. You ever go up to a boss and have them snap at you? There's two reasons for that. One, he's just a jerk, right? And he probably shouldn't be in the position he's in. Second is he's probably burnt out, and he probably needs to take a day or two off.
Yeah.
Right?
There's probably nothing you did.
No. Chances are, if you just come up to someone and for a simple question, and they snap at you, it's nothing you did.
Yeah.
It's them, right? So now, if you've asked the same question over and over and over and over and over again,
then it's you.
no, it's not even that, because something that leader did not make it clear and cement it in what the answer to that question is.
True.
So again, no bad teams, only bad leaders. So, and a lot of people get that wrong. It's okay. It's okay. But you have to be self-aware. That comes again with emotional intelligence. You have to be aware of your own failings and your own limits, just as much as you have to be aware of your team's limits and limitations. True. Right? It would be an awesome world if everybody gave 100% of the time. Right? But we live on Earth. And that's not going to happen. Some people might have had a fight with their spouse or their significant other that morning before coming into work, right?
Yeah.
Or they might have a family member who's sick, right?
Yeah.
And they're worried about that. Or, some people just wake up in bad moods.
Some people are not morning people. They need to work the night shift.
Yes. Yes. And then they're usually late to the night shift because they're not afternoon people either. It is what it is. Demand. But,
no names.
That's a fictional name. But it is what it is. And he knows I'm joking.
Okay.
So, it's fine. You have to get to a level where you can joke with people, as long as they're not like profane or offensive jokes, right? So, because you can never really do that, right? Another thing is, there's for a lot of leaders became leaders because of their ego, right? Which is a thing, right? And I know this episode's going long, so this will be my last point. Cat can add on. So, a lot of people got to become leaders or wanted to become leaders to feed their ego. Oh, I have people reporting to me now. Ha ha, I'm important. That kind of thing.
Or just want the title.
Or I want the title, right. So, where was I going with that? Oh, I forgot where I was going. But, which is bad enough, right? Because you should leave your ego at the door when you're leading. You should be leading with humility, and you should be humble most of the time.
Yes.
Right? So, now there are times when your ego comes in handy, right? Especially during hard times, because you know you can do it, right? You know you can get through it. But, for the run of the day, you have to leave your ego checked.
Yeah.
You can't have an overinflated ego as a leader, because people will smell it.
Yeah.
And people don't like people like that. I mean, some do, but most don't. So, but yeah, if you're running around thinking you're better, right, because you have a title, and maybe you make a little bit more on your paycheck, you're going to fail.
Yeah.
And you won't be a leader for long, unless you work in a really scummy area or a scummy place.
Yeah.
Right, that rewards that kind of behavior, which is not a place I would ever want to work. Right. So, you are there for your team.
Yes.
Your team is not there to make you look good and to stroke your ego. No. They're there so they can get their job done and get that job done well.
Yes.
You have to hold people up to us to not perfection, but to a state of excellence. And there's a difference. Perfection is unattainable. You cannot attain perfection. It's impossible. There's no such thing as perfect. There is such thing as excellence. And if that's the kind of culture that you cultivate, that's what you're going to get. If you're the example of it. No one expects you to be perfect. Nobody expects anybody to be perfect. And if they do, they have issues. So, it's progress, not perfection. Strive for excellence, not for perfect. So, and that's in everything that you do.
Yeah.
Right? So, I don't know. I don't have much else to add.
Just be a leader, guys.
All right.
Plain and simple. Be a leader. Do your best. And have a great day.
Yeah. And pay the fee.
If you like the show, you want to see it grow, like, comment, share, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Bye.